Hi there, Andy Adams here with Video Wednesday. I hope this finds you well and that you're having a great day wherever you are. So, in my article on Monday, I was talking about things that we should and shouldn't do in order to have a healthy life. So I want to ask you, what do you think of when I'm talking about having your health? You know, many of you who are here and are listening to this, you may have chronic illnesses such as diabetes, heart disease, maybe have unexplained pain, and nobody seems to have an answer for you. Perhaps you have an autoimmune disease and you're looking for some answers. And maybe you are here because you have a loved one and you want to support them on their health journey, so you are looking for answers. So I want to say, when I talk about health, to me this means waking up in the morning, being truly rested and energized, and excited about my day ahead. It's about moving my body without having any pain. It's about my energy level lasting throughout the day. And it's about going the whole day without any medicine. So I can honestly say I haven't always had this, but I have it now. And so, you know, when you lost health, you know how it feels. And you want to go back. At least I wanted to. So anyway. So, you know, there's a saying, it goes that your health is your wealth. And I honestly think there's no truer words spoken, because let's face it, if you don't have your health, what does it mean that you have money? Sure, when you have money, you can buy, healthcare, better healthcare, but that doesn't mean you're going to be healthy. But if you're healthy, it doesn't mean that much if you don't have all the money in the world, right? So anyway, okay. So what we really all want, I think, is a healthy, happy, and a long life. There's a lot of research now going on that is looking into longevity, and I promise you that if you take care of your body, you are going to live a longer life. I'm not sure how much longer, but you are going to live longer. And I can tell you this, I'm more towards 70 than I'm towards 60. So when we get older, when we're young, we don't worry too much about age, but I'm in my upper mid 60s and I want to live another 20, 30 years. And I want to live those years joyously, happy and healthy. Okay, so what should we do or what should we don't do? Let's talk about the don'ts. So the things I would like for you to think about, things I would like for you to avoid is, there are several. So I'm going to start with the first one. The first one is sugar. There has been so much talk about sugar that I'm sure that you're all aware that sugar is really the culprit of us getting obese, of us getting diseases. So excess sugar is linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and increased inflammation. And cutting back on sugar supports weight management, reduces the risk of chronic diseases. And let's think about it. Sugar is highly addictive. They do brain scans, and it lights up the same areas in your brain as does cocaine. So we know it's highly addictive. So it is best to keep our sugar consumption at bay. And I know that a total sugar-free life is kind of unreal. So I say, if you need to use something to sweeten, maybe your coffee or you're baking something, especially now with the holidays coming, use honey, use maple syrup, or and sometimes when you bake, like those type of sweeteners don't really do as well, and you need like a sugar type sweetener, go and use date sugar. Date sugar still contains the fiber and the nutrients present in whole dates, including potassium, iron, magnesium. It's just a healthier choice compared to refined white sugar, which loses most of its nutrients when it gets processed. But again, we should use all sweeteners within reason. Now, the next one I want to talk about is to eliminate artificial sweeteners, including stevia. Artificial sweeteners not only disrupt our gut health and our metabolism, but when we consume artificial sweeteners, it triggers the pancreas to release insulin because it's sweet and it mistakes it for glucose. And the elevated insulin release can lead to increased blood sugar, blood insulin levels, and eventually causing reduced receptor activity and therefore insulin resistance. So when you drink, like a Diet Coke or anything with sweetener, artificial sweetener in it, you put it on your tongue, and there goes this message to the brain that says, hey, sugar is coming. So the brain says, okay, pancreas, get insulin ready, So there is messages going on because it doesn't realize it's fake sugar. So definitely, I would say totally eliminate. I'd rather you have a teaspoon of honey or date sugar in your coffee than that stuff. Anyway, moving on. Now moving on to seed oils. I think in the meantime, I have talked so much about them that most everybody, especially in my group, knows that they're bad for us. So seed oils like canola, soybean, or cottonseed oil, they are highly refined oils, and they are very high in omega-6 fatty acids, and they're highly inflammatory. Plus, they're actually carcinogenic because of the way they have been treated and made. That the process is enormous. There is actually a website called Seed Oil Scout. I recommend you check it out, and you'll get all the news on seed oils. Anyway, I feel it's a shame that our food industry has absolutely no shame to sell us these products even. So if you have corn oil or cottonseed oil or soybean oil in your cupboard, I highly recommend that you get rid of it. Next, I'm moving on to grains. I would say limit grains, especially gluten-containing grains. But many of the grains, they're really not meant for us to be eaten. So I would say, be careful. Reducing grain intake supports gut health and alleviates symptoms such like bloating and discomfort. Especially gluten can do a number on our gut, and really is a big problem, especially because of the Roundup, the glyphosate that is used, that is sprayed on the grains. We are taking this into our body, and it does do a bad number on your gut especially. And when you have a leaky gut, you are leaving your body open to all kinds of illnesses. So next, I want to move on to processed food. Avoid processed food. Processed food often contains additives, preservatives, excess sodium, and who knows what all is in there. So opting for a whole, minimally processed food ensures you have a higher intake of essential nutrients without the artificial drawbacks. I want to know what I'm eating. I don't want this mystery stuff that they have in some of these foods. Okay, next has nothing to do with food, but it's also something that can compromise your health, and that's quit smoking or vaping. Smoking and vaping contribute to respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, as well as various cancers. Quitting improves lung function, reduces heart disease risk, and enhances your overall health. But I know it's not easy, but there's help available if you really want to stop. And if you have stopped, it's very important that you stay away from that very first cigarette or whatever very first vape to do it again. I think that's the big secret of not falling off that wagon. So anyway, next I want to move on to avoid synthetic vitamins. Synthetic vitamins lack the natural cofactors that can lead to health problems. They are not absorbed in our body. They're not bioavailable. They don't have the enzymes and the coenzymes like the vitamins in food have. So when we take a synthetic vitamin, the manufacturers have put high levels of that vitamins in there, of those vitamins in there, because they know it doesn't all get absorbed. But your body really doesn't know what to do with it. So they do not interact with the body harmonious, and it's much better to take to get the vitamins from whole foods. There are vitamins available that are made from whole foods, fermented foods. There's also organ, like from organ meat. They're usually freeze dried. So those have they have better ingredients, but stay away from synthetic vitamins. Okay, so now all the no-nos are done, and let's go to the yes you can do. So I want to encourage you to embrace whole foods. Whole foods provide essential nutrients, fiber, and antioxidants. They support optimal health, digestion, and sustained energy level. So when I'm talking about whole foods, what I mean to say is to eat the food. Everybody says, oh, don't eat anything that has a barcode on it. That's kind of silly, because even apples have barcodes on them now. So what I'm talking about whole foods is, look at the food. You see it's an apple. You see it's an orange. You see it's broccoli. You see it's meat. That's whole food. You can hold it in your hand and you say, okay, I know what this is. It's not a mystery. And it's okay to purchase like vegetables frozen. They are sometimes fresher than the ones that you get in the produce department, because they have been shipped from who knows where. And every minute, every hour that something is picked off the vine or off its root or wherever it comes from, it loses nutrients. So when you purchase frozen vegetables, they are usually, they're picked, they're cleaned, they're in the freezer within 20 to 24 hours. So sometimes that's a better choice. Plus, I have found myself sometimes when I buy fresh food, it looks good today, I want to eat it, and then I say, when I get home, maybe I'll make it tomorrow. And then, it stays in the fridge for another 2 or 3 days and has lost more nutrients. And sometimes it goes into the back of the drawer and I forget totally that it's there. I'm sure I'm not the only one this has happened to. So it's okay to buy frozen. Canned, I'm not so keen on, but some of the things, but frozen is definitely okay. All right, make sure you drink enough fluids, especially water. It's very crucial for our body, for our bodily function, to have enough fluid, because it supports our digestion, our circulation, our temperature regulation. We have to have enough fluid in the body. It truly helps with overall health. And then a regular physical activity, move. Even if you go just for a walk, that's okay. Maybe you like swimming. Maybe you have a bike and you like to drive around on your bike. It improves your cardiovascular health and reduces stress. There has been a time when I was actually sick many years ago, and just in order to move, I walked in place in front of the TV. I was watching a show and I was just walking back and forth, sometimes around the table. As long as you move, it's important. Just move. Okay. Now I want to come to one more. I know times are hard but whenever possible, I urge you to choose organic, grass-fed, and pastured foods, because these options usually contain fewer or no pesticides, antibiotics. They support environmental sustainability, animal welfare, and they reduce your exposure to harmful substances. Again, it's shameful that we have to pay more for the way food is supposed to be, because they messed around with our food so much. Now we have to pay extra to get food from pastured cows the way it's supposed to be, so the way it was 50, 60 years ago. It's shameful. I think it's shameful what the food industry does to us. Also, please incorporate healthy fats. Don't be afraid to eat fat. Fat in avocados, nuts, Fatty fish are essential for brain health, hormone production, and nutrient absorption. Fats provide a sense of satiety and aiding you to be successful in weight management. Fat is not the bad guy here. Just make sure that your fat comes from good sources like avocado oil, coconut ghee, grass-fed butter. These are olive oil, of course. I always recommend don't heat olive oil. It's not really meant for that. You can use it for a light saute, but ideally buy a good olive oil and use it for vegetables after they're cooked. You can drizzle them on or in your salads. Okay, make sure you get enough sleep. It's really important. At night when the body sleeps, it heals. It heals some of the damage that we have done throughout the day. Sleep is crucial for physical and mental recovery, supporting immune function and cognitive performances, and in general, all over well-being. So, and last but not least, have a positive mindset. A positive mindset reduces stress, improves mental health, and contributes to a better decision making. It enhances resilience and promotes a healthier and more fulfilled life. I think positive mindset, you also can call it just have a positive attitude. Look on the brighter side of things. We can all be naysayers and say, oh, blah, 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 Don't do that. Look at the other side. There's always two sides to the coin. And, it's better to choose the happier side. Anyway, this is my message for today. I hope you find some value in it. And I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.